that
Alan
sort of relationship.
played a flattered boss very, very well, and you saw him struggling with it, and he clearly loved his wife.
Oh, yes.
And this girl was coming on hard.
Mia.
Yes, but I mean, they turned her into. They tried to bestow her as the devil incarnate.
I don't think so. I think she knew what she wanted.
They went so far as to give her horns on her head and a pitchfork.
I think that's her way of being cheeky, naughty sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So obviously you've looked for symbolism in this.
Well,
maybe it was there. I'm sorry.
Of course I look for symbolism. It's what I do, Pip. That's why you bring me along.
I'm just thinking about how many girls dress like that at Christmas going, yes, I've been very naughty.
Yes. Well, anyway, she fit. She was quite an arousing girl, I thought. She was very flirtatious. And he was very, not smitten, but he was kind of like a bored house husband sort of thing who should have known better. But
did you believe? Was that believable between?
It was very believable. That situation was very believable, and he obviously loved his wife, and he obviously realised that he'd gone down the road too much, and he'd hurt. I always cringe a little bit at that sort of stuff because, for me personally, I kind of look at it and go, well, how complicated do you want your life? And some people seem to strive to complicate their life.
Some people do
I mean?
strive.
Yeah, they really stretch out there. But I mean, having one woman in your life for me is like complication enough. Thank you very much. It's But I've seen not just men but women as well.
Look, both are guilty of it.
Yeah, and I just scratch my head and I go, oh, okay, all right, whatever you got to do to get by the day, I guess. But so I felt for them both. I even felt for the temptress because she saw a powerful man. He was a nice man. He was also a rich man, and she probably wasn't making that much money. And he could have been a good leg up.
Yes, he could have. Boom, boom.
Thank you.
Okay, what about Liam Neeson's character Daniel? So his wife had passed away.
Yes.
And so he was left with a stepson.
Yes.
So.
And he stood up to the job and he connected with him.
He did a great job.
He did.
It felt real. The acting between him and
that was
Sam,
a very real little lineage, and the little kid had fallen in love with
Thomas Brody sang it. Yeah.
Yes, and I thought he did a terrific job as a little kid. But he was in, I think it was.
Which one? He's been in Maze Runner. He's been in Nanny McPhee.
No, he was also the little kid, the quarter boy who lost his arms in. Command and Conquer. No, not Command and Conquer. Master and Commander.
Oh, he's been in so many movies.
He has, and he was superb in that. That was like
he's been in tons of movies. Yep, he's very talented.
Yep. Is he doing crack now, or is he still acting?
No, he's still acting.
Okay, a lot of kids. I feel sorry.
There's not many kid actors that make the transition, but he's done very well.
I wouldn't let mine. If Tom would dearly love to get into a movie, but I don't care how much. No, he would, but I would just step in there and go, no, you'll have a normal upbringing, thank you. And he'd hate me, and that's fine because I've done my job.
Look,
they can go and do street theatre for all I care. That's fine. That's fine, but I'm not getting in the opportunity to make millions of dollars.
Can I say something that I don't mean to offend you or me?
Am I being a helicopter parent, am I?
None of our kids are going to get offers to go and...
No, I know, but he's theatrical in the way he approaches life, isn't he? Like, oh my God, I didn't get what I was after. What? Father, you were so unkind.
I somehow don't think, though, that someone's going to go, oh, we must have that boy. He's got to be in our film.
I'm just saying, if that situation ever came up,
I don't think you're going to say, he'd just go, Father, I'm sorry, but you are no longer needed.
When they needed a child actor who was a particularly bad singer, and he'd fit the bill.
Oh, God. Didn't you hear my daughter singing today?
She was... It was an interesting interpretation.
Oh, gosh. Anyway,
I think I dug myself out of that, did I?
No, that's okay. I'm just trying to see who I'm up to. Sarah, who works for Harry, Laura Linney, who's the American.
Oh, yes. Look, I love this one.
Her situation was so depressing.
Well, it was, and I can't remember. Did she end up with him in the end?
No.
No, she didn't.
Because she kept answering the phone.
Fear.
And he was there. She could have had him. And even at the end, he's going, oh, well, Merry Christmas, Sarah.
Yep.
She's going, Merry Christmas, Carl. And then the phone rings again.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she rang up that time.
Yeah.
So.
No, fear can hold us back sometimes.
Oh, well, I think it was more that it wasn't the fear because they were there, but her brother kept ringing. And blood sometimes is thicker than water. Obligation can sometimes hold you back.
Yeah, but,
Because her love for her brother was more for her love for Carl.
Oh, look. The guy was a bit of a peanut. Like, everybody... You know what I mean? The film kind of blames her. The film...
I don't think they do.
I got the feeling that the film...
No, it was basically showing, well, how much do you love your brother? How much do you love
She's in a bad situation. I mean, she's clearly articulated to fellow workmates that she loves this guy to death. And then he finally rocks up and goes, well, let's get it on, And that's all fine. And then the brother starts ringing up and everything like that. If you're in that situation and you're the guy, you roll with it. You just roll with it. She's having a bad night. So be it,
Yes, but she's always answering the phone. That's the thing about through the whole film, that's all she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, fear was the biggest problem for her,
I disagree.
Well, that was what I was getting from it.
I was getting the vibe of, she's more committed. No, she's more committed to her brother, and therefore she couldn't give love out to anyone else.
Well, that's love.
It is love.
Yep.
So her love for her brother's more than any love that she could have for Carl, and therefore Carl was like, well, if you can't love me as much, well, I shouldn't be here because it's not fair on me.
That's pretty selfish.
I disagree.
I know. I get that.
Okay, well, let's agree to disagree.
I knew that you would take that stance, but I think, look, if you love somebody, you don't take. You give. No, I'm sorry, you give. You don't take. You certainly don't take straight off the mark and go, well, obviously you've got too much, all this time for your brother, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, you give. You don't take. It's not about what you can get out of the relationship. It's about what you're prepared to put in for it. And what you get out of it is a bonus.
Yeah, but if you're always giving and not getting anything out of it, that's got to get you to a very, very sad spot.
You get to a certain point where you
after a while.
You get to the dead duck and the catapult scenario eventually. But, you give it some time. You got to give...
Do you?
You got to
Do you give it some time?
I do.
Yeah, we can see how that's worked out for you.
Yeah, so here I am on my own.
I'm all alone.
And I'm not going to change... Oh, shut up. I'm not going to change, though, because look, this is a tandem-out part of what I'm about, We're not here for ourselves, and yet the core of our bodies, the core of our minds, the core of our hearts tells us that we are.
No, that's
that you
not
have
true.
To transcend
There's got to be a healthy give and take through any relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but you give it some time first. Because sometimes it takes...
So the next... Now, this was a weird one.
Yep.
So Peter married...
Is this the guy...
Let me finish. Peter married Juliet.
Yep.
And his mate Mark.
Yep.
That sort of...
Now, can I ask you, first of all, what you thought of Mark? Is Mark the guy with the cards? Who had the cards and was dropping them on the ground?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I went... Yeah, the big cardboard...
Yes, that big cardboard scene.
Messages,
yep.
okay, at the end.
Yep.
Obviously, Mark was having trouble dealing with the situation.
Yep, that he'd been thoroughly fucking friend-zoned.
I mean, that can happen. It might be two guys, and it just so happens that the girl that you're interested in, the guy, your friend, strikes up with, and they actually they're happy and they have a relationship, and I can see where that would happen.
Sure.
So,
how do you deal with that? If let's put you into Mark's situation. Let's put you into Mark's situation.
I would probably...
And you've got two guys, and you are very interested in the when The guy turned up.
In other words,
reverse the situation.
There's me and a girlfriend, and there's a guy we're both interested in, and she hooks up with that guy.
Yes, and you're pining forever for him.
I would not be pining forever. I would do the emotional disconnect thing that I do, and then hopefully I'd be a mature person and get over it.
Okay.
Which is, I think, what Mark was trying to do towards that
No,
end
he
bit.
was not.
What do you think that was?
The man was a selfish prick.
By letting her know
Yes.
why he's been a bastard to her.
Yes, not only was he a bastard to her, he was an absolute piss-poor friend. He was a piss-poor friend. He was white-handing the fuck out of his mate. He was. He's gone in there, he's basically kicked open the door and thrown in the hand grenade. Fuck them both. And like she kind of was swept away with it all and everything, and my estimation for her dropped through the floorboards a little bit too. How in love was she with her husband, husband-to-be. And, okay, yeah, he was turning into... He'd rapidly deteriorated into a bit of a boorish guy. He was sitting there talking about the footy and everything like that and being a bit of a, 20-year-old, 20-year-on husband. I saw a lot in that scene. I was watching. I was taking note because I was getting.
You've really got into this a lot more deeper than I would, because I just saw them having a nice night enjoying each other's company.
No.
She looked pretty happy. He looked happy.
She was ignorant. She didn't know any better.
Wow.
She didn't know any better until this fuckwit turned up and bloody started throwing cards around the backyard. Fuck him. Seriously. I was so fucking mad. I really was. What? I thought, fuck you, prick. Honestly.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not sitting next to you whenever you watch love movies, rom-coms. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but there's a moral element to this. And it was completely, apparently we don't worry about that if we fall for somebody. Just destroy two other people's lives, including the person that you supposedly love. Come on, control yourself. There's literally... I believe you're starting to cry. Come on, mate. It's okay. Take a glass of water or a gin or something.
Can I just say...
Yeah.
Would you like to hear what I got out of that scene?
Well, that's why I asked you first, because I knew I was going to take the devil's advocate to that.
I saw a happy married couple.
Yes.
A guy who was basically saying, this is why I've been a bastard, because I like you, but obviously it's not an issue because I'm going to get over it. Her going, thank you, I understand. That's great.
Did you read the card?
Yes, I read the cards. I've seen the movie more than once.
In 12 months, I wish to be, boning you or whatever. It wasn't that.
It was not that.
It wasn't that, but he was showing that it was going to be him with her, not the other guy.
Did you read the cards?
Yes, I did, because I was fuming.
I think you've misinterpreted what was being said. He says in 12 months' time he hopes to be banging one of these awesome chicks, and he had very attractive girls.
They were all her.
They were not her. You've got a face thing. They were not her.
Well, they were all blonde.
They were not her. They were sexy model girls.
I'm going to have to go back and check.
Like her.
Look, you have got... You're sure?
Oh, my God. I am totally sure that they were not Keira Knightley.
All right.
They did not look anything like
Keira Knightley.
Yes. They did not look anything like Keira Knightley. He goes, hopefully in 12 months' time I'll be banging one of these girls, basically saying, I'll be over it, but at the moment this is how I feel. But in 12 months' time, I've done this. I've told you how I feel. I will now start the slate clean and move on.
It's still not healthy. It's not. He should have shut up and... It's another man's wife. Fuck it. He should have just left it alone and let them get on with their lives.
And just have her assume that he thinks
that
she's a bitch or something.
Oh, well, not so much that. He could say, no, you got me wrong. I quite like you. It's fine. It's okay.
Sometimes that's not enough.
So you're saying you support his actions?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I can see where he's coming from. I can see where she's coming from.
I can see where he's coming from,
and I can
too.
see where you're coming from with his face recognition stuff.
Pulled the fucking pin and in goes a grenade.
But no, those women on the card were just attractive women. They were not Keira Knightley.
I'm going back to check that shit.
You go for it.
I will.
Have Jolie sit next to you when you look and say, Jolie, is that Keira Knightley? How about that woman there? What about that woman that looks nothing like those two other women?
All right. Possibly I'm wrong.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
but if that was all her, then he's a prick.
They weren't.
He's still a prick.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so Colin Firth, who was Jamie,